All right, today on Heavy Metal Frequency, this is Extreme 6, their new album released in 2023. And this is a really good, deceptively complex and dynamic glam metal, glam rock album. In some instances, I feel like this is a little bit more, at least on the first half of the album, a little bit more of a glam rock type album, and then it does get more metal as it goes on. But so the album starts with Rise, and Rick Beato has a really cool breakdown of Nuno Bettencourt's solo on this, if you care to look it up. And so it's a really fantastic neoclassical-esque solo. He does this really, when you see Generation X, he does this really cool song called Flight of the Wounded Bumblebee, and it's this whole neoclassical thing. It's really cool. He has a really deep, really deeply dynamic guitar style with things like funk, neoclassical metal, and all kinds of other stuff. Hashtag Rebel is this really vocal-driven, like counterpoint vocal and guitar low-end type song, and it's about, I don't know, physical violence and stuff, basically, and so keyboard warriors, I suppose. And so it's a really neat song. It's a bit harder and I guess edgier. It's a bit darker than Rise. And then, but Rise is kind of like back to Rise. Rise is kind of like I consider this the best song on the album, but it's some albums have the best song on the album is the first song. It kind of tapers off after that. 6 does not taper off. It's very interesting. I just slightly prefer Rise to other songs because it's that good. Everything else is really good on here. Banshee is another single, and it has kind of like a hard rock, not quite metal vibe to it. It's also it's somewhat more vocal heavy with some almost vocal whole notes on the chorus, which is really cool. Other Side of the Rainbow is really good. It's another single. It's like a acoustic rock, not really folk rock, but it's like a prog acoustic song. Nuno plays a 12-string acoustic for it, which is awesome. 12 strings have a really large sound because it has 12 strings. Small Town Beautiful is really good. It's another fairly delicate song. 2 light songs following one in the other. The Mask is one of the Nuno forward songs where he does vocals. It has kind of like this punk meets grunge, kind of like punk meets 90s excuse for dichotomous metal, not metal type music combined. Thicker Than Blood is kind of like, it's harder. It's unusually hard for an extreme song. It has kind of an electro-industrial edge to it, which is really interesting. Save Me is another somewhat harder song. It has an interesting groove to it, which is cool. Hurricane is another really light song. X Out is very much like a progressive metal song. It has like a Dream Theater kind of element to it. Nuno's vocals on this are very dynamic, just on the album as a whole, are very dynamic, and it's really impressive. I feel like Gary has the power, Nuno has the dynamics, which is not to take away from any of Gary Sharon's vocals, but there's some very interesting interplay between Nuno Bettencourt's vocals and Gary Sharon's vocals. Beautiful Girls is really, really cool. It's like it reminds me of like a 90s college rock kind of thing, like that college rock genre that was really popular on college campuses in the late 90s. Drive around and listen to stuff like REM, New Radical, stuff like that. And it's a really cool little song. And Here's to the Losers is kind of like a beer hall song. And it's like people go to bars, they get drunk, and they start singing the chorus to this, and it's great. And they put a lot of money in the jukebox, playing Here's to the Losers. And so this whole album is fantastic. I suggest you pick it up before the end of this video. And so let's get in a couple seconds so you don't have much time. And so I absolutely love this. It's a really cool, try to summarize this, like a glam rock funk progressive metal album. And I know they're considered like a glam metal funk band, but it's like glam funk, progressive metal, all kinds of other fun stuff. And this is a really, really great album. It's one of my favorite albums of 2023, and I hope you pick up a copy, and I really want to see them, and I hope I see them soon. Thank you.